I know the title of the video is a bit clickbaity, but bear with me here. Before we get into it, I want to mention that I'm not poo-pooing on the devs here. This video shouldn't be taken with animosity. I love Foxhole, and I love the work the development team is doing here. Creating a game so unique as Foxhole and trying to balance it is definitely a challenge in itself, which is not lost on me. Anyways, War 108 has been going on for 2 weeks now, and I've got a chance to try out some more of the new content in-game. Just for reference, we just tech destroyers the other day by the time I'm recording. In those 2 weeks, I've seen more than a few problems and heard the community's dissatisfaction with some of the changes that were implemented with the most recent update. I'll be talking about 3 major issues I've noticed with the update and provide possible solutions. For all you folks watching, please consider liking the video and commenting to show the devs what you think about the update and make your voice heard. And with that, let's dive in. First, in order to ground ourselves, let's look at the vision of Foxhole from the developers. Building immersive, persistent online worlds driven by players, thousands of players working together to achieve a common goal. Gameplay-first approach to development, which basically means making decisions that are best for gameplay, commitment to innovation, and continual improvement. For this video, we're going to be focusing on these 2 points because these are the 2 areas where I'm seeing issues with the most recent update. First, let's start with issue number 1, gunboats not being able to be repaired at sea, and they need to be driven back to a shipyard in order to be repaired. For me, I think this impacts the gameplay first approach greatly. In a recent engagement the Gremlins and I were in, one of the gunboats was disabled after fighting an enemy warden gunboat. We then would need to crawl all the way from the border of origin to Initium seaport in order to get repaired and get back into the fight. This took us close to 20 minutes to get there. Again, from a gameplay perspective, it's not really fun to have to sit there for 20 minutes, repair your gunboat, and then get back into the fight. If gunboats are disabled, at least let us repair them and treat it like tanks. Could you imagine if you got tracked at the front line when you're in your tank and you had to slow crawl your ass all the way back to a garage in order to repair? That's just not fun. I think the solution here is to allow for gunboats to be repaired at sea, but require them to go to the shipyard in order to have their armor repaired. For the second issue, the update really hyped up naval landings, but they're being gatekept by facilities and big regiments. Prior to the update, a single player could collect 100 armaments and build themselves a white whale to invade an enemy beach. Now, a single player or regiment can't even dream to build a base ship because of the insane facility demand. While regiments are focused on building up their own facilities for their own long hook, space and hexes are being used for multiple redundant facilities rather than much needed bunker bases to stop the enemy from advancing. In some cases, you even have some regiments openly destroying these facilities to make room for bunker bases for defense or to reduce the cost modifier in the region. I don't see how this is really promoting cooperation or good gameplay. Sure, you can make the argument that those smaller facilities and smaller regiments should just work with the larger regiments, but again, everyone wants their own ship and their chance to do their own thing and not be dictated to from a larger regiment. I think a solution here is to make the logistical ships, which are the Bluefin and Longhook, cost R mats instead of rare materials. That way it's going to reduce demand for rare mats. I don't really see the reason to limit these ships when the white whales themselves were easily accessible. Now we get into the last issue for the update, and that is the rare materials themselves. Me personally, I don't have an issue with the costs for these ships per se. During the dev stream, the devs mentioned that they want to really make these ships unique and reduce the quantity of them in game. So the cost there makes sense. But when rare mats are an RNG mess at scrap fields, this has led to some problems. If tech mats spawn at a field, these are iron, copper, aluminum, there's guaranteed to be no rare materials to spawn there. Regiments will then leave and search for a field that has rare mats, and once found, swarms of players will pick the field dry of rare mats and leave scrap on the ground to despawn. When scarcity and high costs are present, it doesn't leave much room for cooperation. An example I saw where this played out was because of the scarcity of the resource, players would actually opt into killing each other for these mats or just outright steal them from others. Competition for rare materials is pushing regiments away from each other and promoting infighting, not cooperation. A solution to this is, if rare materials are going to continue in the world of Foxhole, as they should, have them be mined at sulfur or coal fields instead of scrap fields. Allow players to start collecting rare mats earlier in the war to get a stockpile going and reduce the demand once the relevant tech is available. So those were the 3 main pain points I'm seeing with this update. What do you guys think? Is there anything else missing that should have been added to the list? Make sure you leave a comment below so that your voice is heard. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.
Hey, sucking every day, fucking all my